You know that moment when you finally squeeze past the person already in the window seat, shove your bag into the overhead bin, and collapse into your airline seat? Yeah, that moment right there is where most people completely switch off their brains. They buckle up, grab the in-flight magazine, and just exist for the next several hours. But I am not most people. And after this video, neither are you. Because what I do in those first few minutes before a flight takes off has genuinely transformed my entire travel experience. And I am talking about everything from how I feel when I land, to whether I get sick after traveling, to how productive or rested I actually am. Today I am walking you through exactly what I do before a flight in my airline seat. And some of these are going to surprise you. Most people get off a flight feeling swollen, dehydrated, exhausted, sometimes even sick. And almost all of it starts in the first 5 minutes after they sit down. I used to land feeling like I had the flu, brain fog, puffy ankles, zero energy, until I realized something. It wasn't the flight. It was what I was doing, or not doing, before takeoff. Now, after 100 plus flights, I have a simple 6-step routine I do the second I sit down. It takes less than 5 minutes, and it completely changes how I feel when I land. Some of these are practical, one of them is psychological, and the last one is the one almost nobody thinks about, but it's the biggest game changer. Let's start with the one that feels obvious, but almost nobody actually does. 1. I sanitize everything immediately. The tray table, the armrests, the seatbelt buckle, the screen, even the air vent knob. Studies have shown that airplane tray tables can carry more bacteria than many public restroom surfaces. And think about how they're used. Food trays, laptops, diaper changes. It takes me 90 seconds. 90 seconds to dramatically reduce the chance that I spend the first 3 days of my trip feeling awful. Pro tip, I keep travel wipes in the same pocket of my bag every single flight, so I don't even think about it. Tiny habit, massive return. 2. I adjust the air vent, but not how you think. Most people blast the air directly onto their face. It feels refreshing, but here's what's happening. You're creating a direct airflow path to your respiratory system. Instead, I angle the vent slightly in front of me, not directly on me. It creates a kind of air curtain in front of my body. Frequent flyers and aviation health professionals have talked about this for years. It's subtle, but once you understand airflow in a cabin, you'll never point it straight at your face again. 3. I change my blood flow before the plane. Even moves. Before the safety demo starts, I take off my shoes and put on compression socks. Yes, I know, not glamorous, but cabin pressure plus hours of sitting equals restricted circulation. That's why your ankles swell. That heavy leg feeling, that's blood pooling. Compression socks improve circulation, reduce swelling, lower risk of deep vein thrombosis on long-haul flights, make landing feel dramatically better. If you've ever stepped off a long flight and felt like your legs weren't yours, this fixes that. I wish someone told me this 10 years earlier. Now here's where most people lose the opportunity. 4. I decide what this flight is for. Before we even push back from the gate, I choose, is this a rest flight, a work flight, a reading flight? Because if you don't decide, you drift. And drifting turns a 4-hour flight into wasted time. If it's a rest flight, phone on, do not disturb, eye mask ready, headphones in. If it's a work flight, offline tasks queued up. No reliance on Wi-Fi. This one mental shift alone made flying feel intentional instead of draining. You don't feel exhausted when you've used time the way you meant to. 5. I hydrate. Like I'm in the desert, because I basically am. Cabin humidity sits around 10 to 20%. For reference, the Sahara Desert averages around 25%. You are literally sitting in air drier than a desert. That dryness causes fatigue, headaches, brain fog, dry skin. That, why do I feel off, feeling when you land. Before boarding, I always buy a large bottle of water. And I follow one rule, 1 cup per hour of flight time. I skip alcohol, I skip extra coffee. And the difference in how I feel when I land is not subtle, it's dramatic. 6. The 2-minute comfort audit. This changed everything. Right before taxi, I do a full scan. Is my bag blocking my feet? Is my seatbelt twisted? Am I too warm? Is something I'll need buried in the overhead bin? Is my lower back supported? Because once that seatbelt sign turns on, your options shrink. Most in-flight discomfort isn't big. It's micro-friction. And micro-friction compounds over hours. Fix it on the ground, and the flight feels 50% easier. Bonus, because this matters. Before airplane mode goes on, I text someone. Flight number, arrival time. It takes 15 seconds. It's smart. It's responsible. Here's the bigger point. Travel doesn't have to drain you. The difference between landing wrecked and landing ready isn't luck. It's systems, small decisions, made early. So next time you sit down in that airline seat, don't just exist there. Set it up, own it, use it. If you found even one of these helpful, comment "flight ready" so I know you made it to the end. And if you want more systems that make travel, productivity, and daily life easier, subscribe. This takes maybe 2 minutes total, but the return on those 2 minutes is enormous. You are essentially removing every small physical friction point before it becomes a distraction or an annoyance at 35,000 feet, where you have almost zero ability to fix anything. Travel is something that can drain you or fuel you, and the difference usually comes down to intentionality. The people who land refreshed, calm, and ready are not just lucky. They have systems, they have habits. They made small decisions before the plane even left the ground that set up everything that came after. So next time you settle into your airline seat, do not just exist in that space. Own it, set it up, make it yours. These habits cost you nothing except a little awareness, and they give back way more than you would expect. Travel better, land better, live better. I'll see you in the next one.